There are some stories that should never be told, but those stories should be embraced. There is something dark and scary about these dark tales. Sometimes dreams and nightmares come true.
I see you.
There's nowhere to hide. Silver Swan Audio Oddities.
Camping with friends. Paul and Victor had been a couple for a month. They hooked up after a night out at a club called Big Boys. The two college boys are both good looking and are both from wealthy families. Paul wants to be a lawyer and Victor is going to school to be a surgeon like his father. They both sit in the back seat of a rental car, talking, Victor telling Paul they should have brought more food, and Paul telling Victor not to worry, they have enough for the whole group. The group includes their transgender friend Ashley, whose dead name is Ashton. Ashley sits in the back seat next to Victor. She has a big fluffy coat on and dark shades. She is texting on her phone to her ex-boyfriend Lee, to whom she hates but loves. They have broken up several times, but she is hoping the relationship blossoms. Paul gives Ashley a smile, then taps her nose with his finger to cheer her up. Ashley grins. In the front seat, there is Don the driver. Don has a low-trimmed beard and big blue eyes. He is a gay man. He talks with his hands a lot, which makes his driving feel a little reckless. But he never has put himself or anyone in too much danger. Sai, the Indian gay, he came out the closet on Christmas Day. Ever since then, his family had disowned him. He is in a bad mood. All four of his friends are hoping the camping trip will cheer him up. Sai sits with his heavy coat on and arms crossed, his hoodie hanging over his brow. He has earbuds in his ears. Don is talking to him, but Sai isn't paying much attention to him. What if a bear comes to us at night? What will we do? Paul says to the group. Are there bears out here? Ashley says, leaning forward, staring out the window, all wide-eyed. If there are, they're harmless. There have not been any attacks in the area. The most seen animals are deer. So anyways, calm yourselves, bitches. Don says, batting his eyes and snapping his fingers. He even does a little dance in his seat. The only bears I see are gummy bears, Paul says, taking out a small bag of candy, then tossing a few gummies into his mouth. Victor gives him a kiss on his lips and snuggles up to him. Sai closes his eyes and tries to fall asleep to the vibration of the car. Ashley stares out her window at the tall trees in the dark. The snowy grounds with rain and snow makes everything seem bright with a touch of gloomy and dread. An eerie feeling comes over Ashley as she looks out the window. I think we should sleep in the car if this bad weather doesn't stop. I'm not going out there and setting up a tent, Paul says to Victor. I'll set it up. I have the most outdoor experience here anyway. My dad put me in Cub Scouts, and plus he used to take me camping with my two dumb sisters. I can even make a fire, Victor tells the group. Wow, our very own nature boy. I feel so safe now, Don says with a chuckle. Sai wakes up hearing the car door opening and slamming shut. He looks around, seeing that Don had found a spot to set up camp. The rain had stopped, but the snow was still falling. Ashley and Victor worked together setting up the tents. Paul was trying to get a signal on his phone. He walked around holding his cell phone up and cursing under his breath. Don was taking out things from the trunk of the car. As he pressed the hood down, he made eye contact with Sai. Don threw his head back, sighing for Saeed to get out of the car, to join the group outside. Saeed turned away, pulling out his phone. He sees there is no signal. The last text he sent to his mother was, "I miss you all so much. I love you." He sent that 2 days ago and never got a response back. Saeed stares at the text, starting to feel ashamed of who he's become. A tear leaves his left eye. The car door is pulled wide open by Don. Don grabs Saeed and lifts him out of the car to his feet. "Get out of there. How are you ever going to start living when you stay in your dark feelings over people who don't understand you?" Don says to Saeed. Saeed wipes his eyes, trying to hide his mood. "I'm fine, Don. I can gather some wood." Saeed tells Don. Don chuckles. "Are you crazy? I brought our own wood. We're not cavemen, going out into the darkness searching for wood that may be or may not be there. Anyways, the shit I brought burns. It burns really good, bitch." Don snaps his fingers and throws a hip with a quick turn away from Saeed. Saeed giggles, liking that Don always changes the mood. Paul and Victor walk around the site, holding hands and talking as the others sit around the campfire. Ashley starts taking pictures of everyone. She then put on a song from her cell phone, then starts dancing to it. As the night went on, they all had made s'mores, played a game called Truth or Dare, told spooky stories, roasted marshmallows, danced to Billboard chart music from Ashley's cell phone, and drank wine coolers and beers. Paul passed around roasted beef and turkey sandwiches. He cooked the meat over the fire and used spices he brought to season it. The smell made their mouths water, and their taste buds begged for the indulgence of Don's cooking. Don couldn't help himself. He ate 2 sandwiches. He told jokes and tried to cheer up Saeed. As it had gotten late, the group went into their tents to get some rest. The time spent before everyone went to sleep was enjoyed by Saeed. It took his mind off his family situation. His heart was warmed by being around people who care about him, who make him feel loved and welcome. Saeed shared a tent with Ashley. He watches Ashley sleep, remembering the day Ashley decided to become a woman. He realizes that Ashley had been through the same thing with her family and was kicked out of her home. Ashley was on the streets for a while but met a wealthy man who paid for all her treatments and hormone medications. The man she fell in love with is a married man. That's why they struggle to be together. The married man is in the closet, but supports Ashley with her transition. Saeed remembers meeting Ashley's lover at a friend's get-together. The man is an older guy with gray hairs, but Saeed remembers the love in his eyes as he would gaze upon Ashley with every sharp look he gave her. Saeed pulls Ashley's coat up over her shoulders and calmly pats her arm. The small motor electric battery-charged heater warms up the tent from inside. Saeed steps out the tent, closing it. He walks over, seeing the campfire flames dying out. He tosses some wood onto the dying fire. It came from out an open package from Don's store-bought firewood. The flames began to rise once more. The sound of the forest is heard, and Saeed looks up at the star-stricken sky. He says a small prayer for all good things to come around for him and his family. He then turns around after hearing something wrestling around in the tree brush near Paul and Victor's tent. He walks over to it with his eyes studying a large figure standing in the dark. It looks to be about 7 foot in height, with broad shoulders. A hairy form from what Saeed could see. The humanoid creature growls. Saeed stands his ground and doesn't move 1 inch. He squints his eyes, trying to focus in on what he is staring at, trying to undress the dark from what is in it. Its shining eyes glimmered in the night. Its growl was like a rumble that vibrated the very skin on Saeed's body, not able to see very well. Saeed steps closer and closer, hoping the whole time his eyes are playing tricks on him, making what may be leaves and sticks or trees and clinched into one another, shaping out the form, making it seem like there is a beastly creature standing before him. The creature steps forward out of the shadows into the moonlight, revealing its form. Its large, massive, hairy body, its ape-like facial features. It stands like a man, but resembled an ape. Something about its eyes seemed to carry a sense of understanding, intelligence, awareness, but yet dangerous, hate and rage. Its teeth has saliva dripping from them, its large hairy hands with tightened fists. Sai-E shouted as loud as he could so that he could alert the others. The beast ran for him, then Sai-E took off running. Just as he ran, he managed to trip over a stone. He scrambled to get back to his feet. Don came out his tent shaking. Once he laid his eyes upon the creature, Don yelled at the beast just as it leaned down to grab the neck of Sai-E. The beast turned its head, growling, veering its beastly teeth. It shook Sai-E, then let him go. The large animalistic creature then charged at Don. Don tried to run away, but it was too late. The beast grabbed him, then bit into his face. Paul and Victor fled their tent, rushing to the car, Ashley right behind them. Sai made his way over to help Don, but it was too late. The beast held him up from the ground. Don's legs dangled as Sai noticed Don's body had gone limp. There was no life left in him. Victor yells at Sai to get to the car. Sai makes a run for it. The large creature faced Sai, with flesh and blood falling out its mouth. The group all made it inside the car. Victor in the driver's seat, Paul in the passenger seat, Ashley and Sai in the back seat. Victor reached to start the car, now realizing he had no keys to start it. The keys must be in one of the tents, they all thought. Paul yelled for all of them to lock the doors and to duck down as much as they could. Soon the night was met with only the sounds of rain, the breaths of the panic, and the flames of the campfire. "What was that thing?" Ashley cried. "Did it kill Don?" Don't talk, cried Victor as he peeked out the window. "If we stay here and don't make a sound, it might go away," whispered Sai. They all stayed hunched down and as silent as they could, until there was a tap on the window on the driver's side. Too afraid to look, Victor closed his eyes. Paul couldn't help but to look. There in the window is Don's severed head, mouth wide open, eyes rolled back. His facial expression is of screaming terror. The head, held up by a large hairy hand, is dropped to the ground. Ashley screams as she can see from. She is leaning down. She cries. Sai looks up to see what is going on and is frozen in fear, his hands gripping the back of the driver's side seat tightly, his eyes locked in on what is held up next by the monster. The sound of keys jingle and clink. The Bigfoot monster dangles the set of keys in the air with one hand as he stares into the car with his murderous eyes. Don was the driver. He must have taken them off Don. Paul yells as he could tell this animal wasn't like any other. It was smart. The key goes into the door, and the door is unlocked. Screams and yells echoed throughout the area into the night. The sun rose hours after the brutal attacks that happened. The car sits under the light of the sun with all the doors wide open. Blood stained the insides of the car. Every window is broken. A couple of body parts lie in the seats and on the floor inside the vehicle. One of the seats had been ripped out and sits outside 10 feet from the car. Big footprints are in the mud from feet too big to be human, the shape not even close to a human's foot. The footprints lead off into the brush, down a hill, past a creek, into the woods. The prints stop at a large tree with many limbs that twist and turn into one another, leaves with different colors of green. The prints of the Bigfoot lead away into the woods farther out. In that tree, Ashley sits on the highest branch, holding on, covered in blood. Sai is next to her. He hugs onto a large tree branch with ripped clothing, crying. Ashley looks at him, then back down. trembling with her eyes so wide and her expression full of fear. She mumbles gibberish to herself as she is in shock.